takeaways from the entire NRM electoral process?
I don't know where to start from. You see, when I take it in the context of, these are the people who claim to have gone to the bush because of an election being rigged. And what we have seen from the primaries, the levels of violence, the theft, the bribery, opened, something which nobody can deny. The whole country has seen openly being displayed. It's only the president who says we shall investigate. I don't know. On other issues, his intelligence is so perfect, he will probably know what Simuju had for breakfast. But when it comes to this bribery within NRM, we are all blind. But you see, for me, what was missing, or what came out clearly, it both come out in one way or the other. What was missing was direction. You're watching these leaders who are supposed to be leading the country into the future, but I am not getting any vibe of any direction. It's just this internal wrangling, and at the end of the day, NRM has shed this whole notion of ideology, because you're hearing somebody talk about old ideology, new ideology, but it's not defined. What is it that NRM stands for? What is it that NRM is bringing to the people of Uganda today in 2025? It is not coming out. What comes out clearly, annoying some of the actors and the players, is that they are declaring that they are going to ravage this country of ours without mercy. The resources, where are these resources coming from? The whole process, 72,000 villages. If you take a budget of maybe 100,000 shillings per village, that's 7.2 billion. Now they went through this whole process of register, village elections, parish, all through this thing. Where's the money come from? Those are questions. That this democracy which is supposedly created, we have failed to manage it. This is the 4th national conference of the NRM. 4th. According to their constitution, they are supposed to have at least 2 in a term. So we should be in the 8th.
No, you're wrong. We have at least 1.
No, it says 2. I have read your constitution.
I have been the spokesperson.
You've been the spokesperson.
We have never made that particular provision.
Just take it from me.
I will get it in the post of the show when you want, but at least, but the point which I'm making here is, even in the national process, how many times have we postponed the LC1 elections? And the reason given on the floor of Parliament is that we don't have the resources. So people went to the bush claiming elections were rigged. The people who fought the war, many of them were not voters, could not have been voters in the period where the war took place. After this devastation, you go through these years. First of all, 20 years where we are banned from participation. Now this is what you present to Uganda as the fruit of the democratic process. Honestly, God.
Major Raboni, would we then conclude that at the end of the day, this is typically NRM politics? It's money, blackmail, guns, bloodshed, just for an internal democratic process.
Thank you, Simon. I'm a bit disappointed by the debate we are having, by how we have set the debate. First of all, the introductory clip seems to have determined.
And the mischief that plays out in internal democracy. Do you think it's time to rethink internal party democracy across board?
But what is there to rethink? Internal democracy
Oh,
is a
it's failed.
No, it's a necessity. It is a necessity. We just have to find ways of how we can perfect it or make it work for us. What we witnessed has given us an insight, but there are certain aspects which is scary. The obscene amount of money used. And when you take the source of this issue, like in America, they have problems of interests funding electoral processes. In the case of Uganda, it is leakages from public funds which are working within the same system to undermine, whatever it is. So, for me, that is a very scary aspect of it. And it's something which NRM need to really reflect upon. If what you're presenting to the nation is just people who are there to grab and use resources and do whatever it is, at least on one side, for political reasons, as far as the election is concerned, NRM have unmasked themselves and we can deal with them in the election. But as far as what does it say for this country, and me coming from a point of view of UPC, where we're being condemned, UPC rigged election. Obote came to Uganda on 27th May. Election was in December of that year, mid-December. Somebody who was part and parcel of the structure.
He had surrogates here.
Oh yes, he had surrogates now.
Milton Bote had surrogates.
He had surrogates, but it's different where somebody built an army, and this is where I disagree with this issue. And the president was very clear during, after Major Beriga's death, when he spoke Parliament. The 27 or the 20-something was when he entered Uganda in December of 1978. When Kampala fell, in his book, Sowing of the Mustard Seed, he said he had 7,000 men under arms. In Parliament, he brought it to 9,000. But by the time he went to the bush, there were over 12,000, and that one defected. That's what split. Now, Obote, who came without building an army, he was locked out. Locked out in 1978. Could not set foot in Uganda until May of 1980. We've taken this blame for years. For me, this election, I'm going to set records straight. Records of economy. People talk about economy. I'm going to set that record straight. I'm going to set the UPC record straight. But the most important issue of this election is where the people fall into it. Because NRM has nothing on this whole thing. I saw nothing to do with the people. As somebody who is in politics for the people of Uganda, I am going to deal with that one politically. But what this display was, it doesn't augur well as far as democracy and the growth.
Thank you very much. I just need to tell our viewers that.
Yeah, gano mazima. Obote, mutabani w'Obote, akena, kyali mu kugamba kyekituufu. Gino Museveni ekyamutwala mu nsiko ngamba nti baba Obote yabba akalulu. Naye nga tebaali tebabbye naye, baali babbye Kawanga Pose mwogerere. N'agenda mu nsiko n'alwana for 5 years. Nejjuki yali abadde mu nsiko for 10 years ku Amini regime, yabeera mu nsiko myaka 10, myaka 8 egya Amini, tenayongeramu n'emyaka 2, myaka 10 ng'ali mu nsiko. Yalawula ne side government Amini ng'agenda kubeera president, Amini ng'amulemesezza. Then Obote bwe yakoma bwe bajjako Amini, Obote n'akomawo. N'ateeka okulonda kw'ekinaana. Okitegedde? Obote ne bagamba yabba akalulu ka Paulo Kawanga Ssemwogerere. Museveni naye yali yeesimbyewo ng'akomyewo mu nsiko ne yeesimbawo. N'agenda mu nsiko n'atandika okulwana. Ng'alwana nti baamubbye akalulu naye nga babba mulala ye tebamubbangako yafuna 0-0 ze. Okitegedde? Naye nga kye yali akyuzinga Obote nti mubbi wa bululu. Era kye kyamulwanyisa. Olwaliro kyeraze Katabi Kyagulanyi yabagamba nti election sifu. Abantu bangi baga Kyagulanyi enjaga emuliko yesimanya atamidde lolololo. Bo bennyini obudde bamaze ne bubaanika munda wabwe bwennyini nga bayiyeeye sente z'omusolo ompitirivu nga bazigaba bagulira abantu babalonde ne babba akalulu okufa obufi nayo bennyini avayo ne bakaba amaziga nagaba naye tufa abasajja babbye akalulu nedda kino kisusse bangi bavudde mu lwokaano nga bagamba tetuyinza bino kubikkiriza tebayinza kutubba bwe batyo. Okitegedde nga bali mu kukaaba bali mu kudaaga olw'akalulu ke bababbye tugenda kubivaamu bino tusiza bibeeramu twaze nga tumanya akalulu ka mazima na bwenkanya naye abo batubba. Okitegedde batutwala tulaba laba omusimbi oguyiiriddwamu omuyitirivu. Okitegedde njatoyo kanaatambi bamwekali wano iwadu yabadde alaajana. Okitegedde olwabubbi bwa bululu nejo no Museveni agamba bwe yajja okulwanyisa.
Your Excellency, it is a very big embarrassment for NRM to organize this kind of election where people just run from one police station to join another. There is no election to talk about here, Your Excellency. Whether you win or not, the results will be legitimate, and we will want a clean process. Although they haven't carried, I disagree with whatever results will come out of this poll, especially for Western, Your Excellency. And if NRM continues like this, then there will be a problem, Your Excellency. You can ask some of the voters who are here, this is not an election, Your Excellency. I've taken deep consideration, having evaluated the irregularities which have been marked by commercialization of this election. Your Excellency, sir, our party, as you said the other day in the National Executive Committee, that the commercialization of our election is us playing with fire. And I recall this, Your Excellency, because you do understand that we have now introduced into our party the sole profile.
Ndowooza owulidde embaga bonna baavuddemu nga beemulugunya lubbi bwa kalulu ensimbi z'omumusolo eziri mu kudiibuddwa eziseeriddwa mu kalulu just aka internal election naye nga bakwata nsimbi za mumusolo ze bakozesa mu kibiina kyabwe bano ababbeeri be tujja tumanye nno banene ba NRM Michael Mukula Chris Balyomusi bonna baavuddemu nga beekokkola bubbi bwa kalulu beekokkola kudiibuda ku nsimbi za mumusolo Jwanigende mbo balina bandibadde bagaba ninabo kyabayitiriddeko beebuuza badde bagaba zijjawa kitegeeza Museveni yabadde awabali ssente bagabe okitegedde tubiiti bano atemere mutabani we kkubo kati narrative eri gy'addanga akozesa Obote yali abba akalulu ne tujja tulwanyisa obubbi bw'obululu Kyagulanyi na bila bimugumu n'amulabisa ensi nemanya nno Museveni mubbi wa bululu kati ne bano okuzuuka olwaleero bamaze kulaba nti ne Kyagulanyi yatugambe kino ne tukizannyiramu ate katulaba ne kati kye batukola kino kisusse ne babivaamu ne babita oshegedde ogeza okukuma legase zaabwe beteekere gavumenti eddako balaba kati eneegenze yebye kaka tuteekere gavumenti ya Kyagulanyi eddako kati mutabani w'Obote kyava akugamba akena nti Museveni ye yali omubbi ye yategeka okubba obululu alabise gavumenti ya kitaawe nti nno bipone Museveni yali mu gavumenti y'Obote yali Minister wa Defense yali mu gavumenti y'Obote kitegeeza ye yategeka ye yabba obululu mu gavumenti y'Obote okitegedde n'amaana alabisa gavumenti y'Obote nti nzibi afune grounds kwagendera mu nsiko abantu bamukkiririzeemu yategeka obubbi bw'obululu n'abubba ng'awaayiriza Obote afune grounds eziri heavy ayimirireko asobole okugenda mu nsiko abantu bamuwe support n'akituukiriza olwaliro atulaze nti nno ye munubbi wa kalulu nnambeemu naluli ye yakabba n'okutemula abantu n'okuwamba abantu yabikolanga mu gavumenti ya Idi Amin Dada kyayise Idi Amin Dada era n'akituukiriza kati tukyalina omuntu y'omu ali mu